It finally went down. It went down. So I told you about our trifling hood rat neighbors. And their two sorry ass boy and their hoe ass daughter and all the kids' hoe ass mama. I'm finna put it all out on the table at this point. So we've been taking care of our property, respecting our property from the beginning of time, because we don't know anything else. When their children come out, we go in. We try not to let them control us enjoying our property, but at the same time, if I'm just out peeling around in the lawn or whatever I'm doing, if they come out, I go in, because I know they don't have proper parenting. I know how it works. I can tell the mentality is obvious over there. So, but I also know with that mentality, you can't tell them anything. There's nothing you can tell them, because they're feeling like they're doing everything right. And if they were doing everything right, all this stuff would not be going down to begin with. So, as you guys know, as soon as we saw, before they even moved in and we just saw them running around, we got a fence, because we already knew what to expect. Creaky didn't want to believe it. In fact, let me tell you, my family got a nickname for Creaky, and they call him Benny. And the reason why they call him Benny is because whenever I assess character that he feel like I have passed judgment too quickly, 100% of the time I'm right. 100%. That's just been something that's always been clear to me, that for some reason the average person either chooses to ignore or they want to give the benefit of the doubt over generously, hence Creaky's nickname being Benny. So anyway, ride the bikes on the sidewalk, like they were riding their bikes through our yard, not theirs, our yard. In their yard, it wouldn't matter, but still, that's not the point. The point is they don't know how to respect property, and that's not really the boys' fault, because their guidance is what make them feel okay doing the things they do. But that's not my responsibility to be sensitive to that. How sorry am I supposed to feel? I say it over and over again about people that embrace BS and their whole life turn to shit when it does, and people have all this compassion for them. I know why, but why? Why? You say you want one thing, and then your entire behavior brings about another. So this is gonna get too long. Just so you know, he has encountered this female directly once. And when he went over there, sure enough, she's snapping off on him like he's done something wrong, because he got fed up and went over there and asked them to respect his property. So she's saying, you don't, basically it all ended up, you don't talk to my children. And he's like, I can't tell, you tell me I can't tell your kids not to destroy my property? He said, if your kids are destroying my property, I'm going to say something. Well, no, basically it came out to, no, you don't talk to them, you talk to me. You come and ring my doorbell and talk to me. That's how it ended, right? So I was like, oh, okay. Well, I'm not talking to her kids. So I just kept having these images in my head of one of her kids getting hit in the street. And I would call the ambulance, but me not calling the ambulance or going to see about the boy. I wouldn't go see about the boy. The boy would be bleeding in the street because I'm not allowed to talk to him. So that was my attitude. That was my take on it. I'm not allowed to talk to the boys because nobody can tell them anything productive, apparently. So these little bastards have gotten so bad that all the neighborhood kids basically no longer play with them. That lasted like a month that they even played with them. So the ones right directly behind them, that they got a fence because of them, I don't see their boys coming over to play with them anymore. And the white people directly behind us, every time we see his boy over there, he calls his boy because it becomes dinner time, which is the wise thing to do. So the bottom line is, it's not the bottom line, because I'm going to keep going on. But yeah, when their boys come out, I go in. Creaky doesn't, because he's doing stuff, he's mowing the lawn or whatever he's doing. He's not going to let them inhibit that. But again, if I'm just messing around in the garden and the boys come out, I go in. I don't want anything to do with them. I don't even want to look at them. And keep in mind, the way we are, every time we exit our home, we have shades on. Every time we exit our home. We don't look in that direction. Literally. It's not even like viable for me to make like trifling people exist. So we don't even look in that direction. Deliberately. So anyway, it bothers the boys so much because they desperate for attention that they're not getting at home. So every time they come out, yeah, I go in, right? Fine. So the last couple of weeks, they've been, you know, hollering things out the window. They've been doing, now they think we don't know. They leave the boys at home for God days at a time. The boys are at home alone all the time, and you can tell because sometimes they're not allowed to come out or whatever. The screens in the windows are all ripped up and just hanging and flailing out the window. I could get you a picture of that, but I'm not going to put that on blast right now. I'm going to put everything else on blast. I'm going to put everything else on blast. So, yeah, so the boys are throwing things, yesterday, the boys are throwing things out of the window onto their trampoline, hoping, I'm sure, well, this is my speculation, they hoping that it'll bounce our entire yard. If you want to, if you want to, but they're throwing things out of the window and bouncing off the trampoline. So then they drag the trampoline back around. I guess one of them was going to be coming home or coming out or something. So they dragged the trampoline back over to the other side of the yard so that their parents won't know, right? Because they've already been instructed, because they don't want to encounter us again. You know, stay out, don't destroy the people's yard. But that don't mean anything to them. It's coming from their mother, who is the worst mother I have ever seen outside of directly abusive mothers. This female is so trifling. And let me just, well, eventually I'm gonna have to put her business in the street because she set it up so that you need to know this. But so this last time we're out enjoying the garden. Again, we don't even look in their direction. So they're yelling shit out the window. They've been doing this for weeks now. They're yelling shit out the window. So this time, they decide to yell Creaky's name. They don't know my name. God help them if they did. But they don't know my name. And they found out his name from when the little white boy used to be able to play with them, before they fucked that up. Other dude, who was living there when she first moved in, she only been there 3-4 years. When she first moved in, it was this dude, the dude that I told you that him and the kids threw a ball upside playing basketball in the front. How a ball reached the house, I don't know. But I went out and I asked him, I said, would you please not throw the ball against the house? And he act like he don't hear me. He facing the other way now. So the little boys looked up at him and was like, Dad, you know, she talking to you, she talking to you. He looking the other way. I said, excuse me. I said, would you please not throw the ball up against the wall? He says, we only did it once, we ain't gonna do it no more. This is the type of dude that mows the lawn with his pants hanging so far down on his legs that you can see all of his underwear. One of those grown aged fellas doing that. Yeah, for real? For real? Number two, and number one, it's gay. It's gay to wear your pants. All you Negroes that think it's niggas, whatever color you are, if you are a nigga, you know who you are. Wearing your pants like that makes you look like a bitch. Just throwing it out there.